Good morning. My name is Anu Mitra, and I'm a docent at the Cincinnati Art Museum. Welcome to Cam Look, your daily dose of the Cincinnati Art Museum. Each weekday, a staff member or volunteer will be sharing an object from the permanent collection and posing questions for discussion. Please check back at 10 a.m. every day for a new work and a new conversation. My object today is Shahzia Sikander's A Slight and Pleasing Dislocation from 1993. Born in 1969 in Lahore, Pakistan, Shahzia Sikander, who works in multiple media such as drawing, painting, animation, large-scale installation, performance, and video, grew up in Pakistan and lived briefly in Somalia. She attended high school at the Convent of Jesus and Mary in Lahore and went on to study math, economics, and literature at the Kinnaird College for Women. She received her BFA in 1992 from the National College of Arts in Lahore, learning traditional miniature painting from the master teacher Bashir Ahmed. She was invited by the Pakistani embassy in Washington, D.C. in 1993 to exhibit her work with miniatures. Amazingly, none of her 40 works sold, and she was able to use this as her portfolio to seek placement as an international graduate student. She attended and then graduated from the Rhode Island School of Design, or RISD, in 1995 with her MFA, and she has never looked back. Sikander has been awarded the MacArthur Genius Award in 2006 and the National Medal of Arts Award given by the US Department of State in 2012. Her meteoric rise to fame is witnessed by worldwide exhibitions and commissions. The Cincinnati Art Museum is honored to have three of her works, which track her development as an artist from 1993 to 2012. While our focus today is Sikander's 1993, A Slight and Pleasing Dislocation, a gouache drawing on a gesso board, it is worthwhile to look back at the tradition of miniature paintings with which Sikander began her career. In this and other works, Sikander is fundamentally interested in understanding identity through the context of geography and politics. One of the most important manuscripts that shaped Sikander's understanding was the Persian Safavid work, The Nightmare of Zahak, from the 16th century. This deliciously detailed work, which was part of the Shahnama, demonstrated skilled craftsmanship and brought up issues that are important to Sikander. These include the following. Firstly, most miniatures are held in storage as archives to be seen only by a select few, and they remain largely invisible to the broader public. Is access to these miniatures then determined primarily by social class, education, and status? Secondly, Sikander asks, who records history? How do geographies and histories of entire regions get represented in the hands of colonial powers? Thirdly, who determines tradition? Does tradition take on a derivative role, or can it be reframed in a language or idiom that reflects contemporary issues? Finally, in the Safavid miniatures, the interior exploration of space brought attention to the public versus private divide in experience. Women belonged to the private world, and their personal space was strictly controlled in most Islamic societies. Sikander asks, who determines the rights of women, and what happens when these rights are taken away? Sikander addresses many of these issues in A Slight and Pleasing Dislocation. She takes the tradition of miniature painting and interjects contemporaneity in her representation. She does this by opening up the boundaries of space in her use of media, size, and scale, and also by eliminating specific identity by abstracting her female forms. A Slight and Pleasing Dislocation is a darkly painted board with a headless female form created through curved lines. The arms and legs of the figures are connected tentacles, creating a nebulous figure that appears to float buoyantly atop the dark background. Sikander was thinking of herself as a South Asian woman of color in the United States, as well as her experience of having endured military dictatorship in Pakistan. She felt like an outsider in both sets of circumstances, and here she reinvents a visual language in which to frame her sense of dislocation. The human body is ruptured, the limbs are broken, the form becomes monstrous. The female form carries her roots with her and is headless, as Sikander illustrates. This playful beheadedness, quote, end of quote, is Sikander's way of showing how the female personhood has been expunged from politics, culture, and history. The faceless form speaks to the invisibility of women in the art world and the misogyny directed toward women in society. It also references iconoclasm in sculpture, which to Sikander raises ownership issues on what happens when an imperial history removes objects from one culture and places it in another. As a symbol speaking up against authority and patriarchy, this icon, first conceptualized in 1993, has been used over and over again as a repeated motif to express Sikander's worldview, and as recently as 2019. Are there symbols that you use to express who you are? Have these symbols changed as a result of your own experiences in the world? These are some of the questions that I leave you with as you enjoy Sikander's A Strange and Pleasing Dislocation. Thank you.